have lost your mind. You have lost your mind. You have.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Hey. Yeah.
This is right. This is weird. Hi. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Who's a freaky ass nigga?
Naruto Uzumaki Rasengan, your body niggas think they dope. I be like, not too shabby. They like why he's so serious. To me, it's not a fucking hobby. You a dipshit, but shit stay with a dimwit. But eat your pocket, I can't flip. Big dick, no chick living. I won't say my name. We part they hit this. I'm in the distance at the same time. You the witness. Like Lil Keys, my album sound like an orgy. From the game up, I came up like a paintbrush. I don't know when I pretend to be yet.
I gotta get out of here. How you doing?
Watch out for these niggas who got your back but ain't got no backbone. Clashing with the titans and shit on right now. Crack on dead comes a three. I got triple nose. I'm with the brains. Niggas so be stroking the weak. When your mouth even open the teeth. I'm a mountain, I float in the peak. You fancy your flow ain't that deep. In the work in the burgers they sleep.
No. Wait.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy J Locky. How you all doing today? Welcome back. I haven't posted in a year. I don't really have an excuse. This isn't the first time it's happened. The crazy thing is that I recorded a lot of videos. I just haven't edited them. Like, I have a ton of videos that I'm just sitting on that I just have not edited. And I kind of recorded so many to the point where I'm like, man, if I really wanted to, I could post a video. But man, I'd also have to edit this. Anyway, I'm not going to sit here and babble about something that's happened multiple times. If you're a returning viewer, thank you. I appreciate you for coming back multiple times. But if you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're enjoying yourself here, go ahead and leave a like on the video and subscribe for me, because we are the most underrated channel on YouTube. I know you saw that intro. I know you saw. Who out here is doing it like that? Who is out here putting effort like that in an intro at this level of a channel? Do not put them on the screen. No, but seriously, if you are new here, welcome. You probably will be a lot of new people here, considering this is a different style of video what I normally do. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. But anyway, let's hop right into it. Let's not waste any more time. Alright, so we hop in this game. We're on Jigs Guard. You already know I'm picking Iron Fist. So game starts, I see the enemy team, and you already know I'm getting to work. I start putting the beats down on the people. But in the back line, I hear one of my teammates saying there's a penny setting up. So you already know I'm like, any fucker, nothing crazy. Let me get down to business. So I get in there and I start putting the beats on her. I start putting the hands on her. She ain't never seen no fist in life. I'm kidding. She beat the fuck out of me 3 times. And nobody was helping me. I was just in there getting my ass cooked. I was not having fun. And then nobody else would address her, so I would just come back and get cooked each time. And I only escaped once, and I still got cooked. I hate Penny Parker. I hate them. Get to all pennies. Almost lost my composure. But anyway. Alright, but anyway, first of all, if you're familiar with pennies at a high rank, you know they typically don't get value until they set up. And me being a good player, knowing this, and I've seen it happen, I've been in this situation multiple times, I know how it goes. You ignore the penny, everybody's like, oh, just ignore her, she's not doing anything, she's getting no value. And then you look over behind you and you're wondering why both of your supports are gone. It's because they walked on insta-kill mines. Me being on Iron Fist, I'm like, okay, I'm telling my team, I'm like, hey, guys, if there's just one person, one other person, it doesn't have to be, it can be a DPS or it can be a tank, to go get this penny and destroy her mines. We don't even have to kill her. Just go in with me, I'll absorb the mine, mines with my block, but I can't do it alone. Then we go in there, we destroy mines, and we just leave. We don't even have to kill her. We just leave. Once her mines are gone, she's useless. She's just like a walking AT walker, but that does like tickle damage, and you just ignore her. But of course, nobody listens to me, and they all just keep shooting at the front line. So the only person that goes to address her is me, and thus I die to her 3 times in a row. The game goes forward. I get off Iron Fist. I go Emma, forced her off of Penny. And these two guys right here that you see on the screen were a duo. Now I didn't realize it at first, but this guy here started tilting. If you've ever been with someone who's tilted, there's no winning the game after that point. Once people are tilted, the game's winning because you're more focused on trying to like argue, intentionally be annoyed, that the game is just lost at that point. So he just intentionally started throwing. Now mind you, I'm not immune to this. I get tilted, I get angry at games, but for the most part, well, no, not for the most part, always, unless they personally attack me, I always keep insults or anything to do with like berating a player inside of the game about the game, not outside of it. You have to separate game from real life. You cannot combine the two. If someone's going negative on my team, I'm not gonna be like, bro, what are you fucking poor, bro? Like, what the fuck are you negative in my game? Like, that has nothing to do with the game at hand. Like, for example, there was a guy, this was like over a month ago, but there's a guy who I was playing game with, and he started tilting, and he started like bragging about his BO3 tournament wins. I'm not joking. Black Ops 3, the game that came out like what, 7 or 8 years ago. And in that instance, I started to clown him about that, something that is outside of the game, because that is funny as hell. But still, I did not address him as a personally to attack him. You keep everything separate. I'm not talking about his family, his sisters, his girlfriend. It's just about the game and the insults on the game. That's completely it. I'm not immune to tilting, but if I'm going to tilt or be angry at someone or berate someone in the game, it's going to be about the game. And the reason I say this is because these dudes don't do that. These are the type of, and I'm not gonna call them losers, because I don't like calling anyone a loser, but this is 100% loser behavior. So these guys start sending out racist messages. Now, no, I'm not fucking new to this. I played Black Ops, Modern Warfare, and all that shit growing up. I'm a pussy that use racial. I'm not new to this. That shit does not faze me at all. The reason I was so particularly pissed off with these guys, because you can tell what type of people they are. And you'll see as the game goes on, you'll see that they're the type of people, when they get angry, they will start talking the most to you. And then when it backfires on them and they're the ones in like the lower position, they'll start to try to backtrack. I'm like, oh guys, it's just a joke. You're just so sensitive. You guys are just snowflakes. You guys just take everything too seriously. But if they were in the higher up position, you know damn well they would just go all in on you. That type of behavior is so fucking lame, and that is the most loser shit ever. But anyway, we're gonna move on to the game. I unfortunately didn't get to record. Well, I should have started recording the second I saw them. They were in my game, but I didn't, because I was just so locked in on making sure that they get their absolute asses handed to them. So instead, I just thought I was gonna kind of watch over the gameplay, add some edits to it, and explain some of my gameplay decisions of playing Iron Fist at a high rank and whatever, blah 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 blah. And then on top of that, I'm gonna be doing my best to try to incorporate the text, like the chat, because I got an after recording of the chat, so I'm gonna do my best to incorporate it as much as I can when it happened, so that you can get a feeling of how I was seeing things during the game and how it was going. But anyway, let's get to the video. Alright, so I'm not gonna show you the stats right off the rip. Just know, so this game happened right after I was getting off a breaking work. I should have been clocked back in at this moment, but because of what they had said, I queued up immediately, because I was like, I gotta get these dudes again so I can absolutely smoke them. In the first bit here, we actually got straight cooked. They were just walking us down, and mind you, they only had one support, but they were just absolutely walking us down. Like, they were just destroying us. Mainly because my take was kind of weird. Yeah, our take was pretty unique, to say the least. I don't even know why bro was fucking saying this shit. Bro was throwing off my game the whole game. I'm like, what the fuck is bro talking about? Bro started mentally molesting himself mid-game. Like, I've never seen anything like this before. There's something like about this game and this community that just gets people freaked out for absolutely no reason. Anyway, let's get back to the game. All right, so this is when the game finally starts to pick up. So I go in and try to kill this Hellish Rocket. Really, I'm just trying to stall the point, but I get killed because this Rocket does too much healing and Hella does too much damage, and so they get me. And then this is where they send the message. And this is when I realize who's in my game. And I usually like, right, in most games, you know, I'll be trying, but I just be chilling, I'll be leaning back, you know what I'm saying? I'll be trying too hard. This is where I knew I absolutely had to lock the fuck in. By the way that they were talking to me last game, I had to make sure that these motherfuckers never experience another ounce of joy on this game.
Bro, what the fuck is you even talking about, bro?
Anyway, so we did lose that last point, and at the start of this next fight, I popped my ult so that I can try to keep us in the game because we were just getting absolutely steamrolled. And if you see here, you can actually see I'm like doing this tech that a lot of you probably don't know about, where you can push people around with Iron Fist's ult. Now, realistically, I should have just destroyed the beacon, but I was still getting used to like Rocket's ult being good because this is the beginning of the season. But we do end up losing this fight as well, and this is when I started getting a little heated at my team and voice telling them to lock in because I'm like, do they have one support? How are we getting rolled this heavily? And also, right here, this Psylocke solo ults me for like absolutely no reason. The cart is still at the front gate, and she just solo ults me right here, just for the love of the game. And this is like something that becomes like a running gag throughout the game, where they just like constantly keep trying to solo ult me, and it's fucking hilarious, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this game, even though like I was locked in, it gets fucking hilarious at times. I was laughing my ass off. It was hard for me to go in. One of the most annoying things about playing Iron Fist is when you don't have an aggressive team, because Iron Fist really cannot perform if you're not being aggressive, because then you're just diving in alone. And if you're diving in alone, of course you're gonna be the main focus. There's a team of 5 people or 6 people, and then you start diving on top of like 2 of the supports, and then supports are like, hey, somebody's diving me, and then 4 other people turn around, of course you're gonna die. But if it's like 2 or 3 other people, you're dispersing what their attention has to go to. Somebody's gotta kill the Venom, somebody's gotta kill the Cap, somebody's gotta kill the Iron Fist, somebody's gotta kill Spider-Man. But they can't just focus one person and just absolutely obliterate them. All right, now here, this guy, I don't even know how low he was. He did not deserve to live here. He literally got so lucky here. And here, I ult, trying to save it. We get a little bit of a hold, but ultimately, we still just end up losing. Like, we went in for a second, but ultimately, we still lose the fight. Here, we just started getting rolled. The team just starts getting killed. We didn't really have any ults for this. And yeah, we just lose. So we got rolled the first round, but that's fine. That's totally fine, because I don't know what it was, but our team locked in, especially my other DPS. He started locking in like crazy. If it weren't for him, honestly, we probably wouldn't have won this game. If he didn't lock in, we probably would have lost, because the tanks were not locked in at first. I don't know what was going on this time. This wasn't late in the day, by the way. I would expect this at like 3 a.m. or something. This was midday. I don't know why they were acting this way. It was really weird. Alright, so this is the round where me and my team finally decide to lock in. And we start the beginning of putting that belt to ass. Now, this is the round where you'll begin to notice that the other guys start to switch up. Remember when I said earlier in the beginning of the video, they're the type of people where if they're like winning, or they're, you know, just like above you in some scenario, they'll start talking the most. But as they start to lose, it starts to turn into jokes, you know, as in like, oh, we're just playing around type of thing, because they start getting dog walked. And if you take notice on my gameplay here, one thing you'll notice is that I'm kind of playing a little bit defensively. You would normally expect me to kind of dive a little bit more, but because of the fact that they have a Venom, and really the only other person that can really stop him is me, the Bucky can kind of help out. I need to play defensively, because we don't have the type of tanks to be able to drain his health fast enough for him to not be able to get away and not just get value again. You have to be able to kill Venom, because he has too much health. What you'll also notice is as the game goes on, that they actually start to switch up their comp and they get off the one support thing. I think by the end of the game that they're actually on triple support, and that's just because the entire beginning of the round I just kept bullying the Rocket, because I'm not going to allow them to get value with one singular Rocket. So I just kept killing him to make sure that he was out of the fight, so they could not get any heals for the entirety of the fight. This was personal, I'm not gonna lie. This was personal. I wanted this door dead. This was to send a message. They started kind of making jokes, but it was insincere, because again, you were being racist last game. There's no joking around anymore. What I'm talking about with these type of guys. And these guys again are the type of people, they'll start talking when they're up, but when they start losing, they'll go completely quiet, and they're like, their egos are so fragile. They did not want to die to me once this entire game. Like, dying to me, it was worse than death, because like when you start talking so much as if you're like better than someone, dying to them is like just proving yourself wrong. So they would do everything in their power to not lose a fight to me. Whether it's solo ulting me, hard targeting me, they just did not want me to ever beat them in a fight. This is one of those moments.
James to love, back up top. James a long three. Bang! Tie game!
Now it's here at this point when they stopped talking in the chat. Well, except for the Ian guy, he was still putting weird in the chat. I don't know what's going on there, but from this point they were locked in, like they were serious, because you could see the guy who was on Bucky originally, he swapped the support because they really wanted to win. They thought they were just gonna roll us because they're like, oh, this is freeload game, and then they actually swapped. So they were locked in here. They really wanted to win at this point. Alright, so we capped the last point and the round's over, and of course we put them through a blender. And at this point, the two boyfriends don't say anything in game chat at the end here. Now in any other scenario, you know they would have, but because they're losing, they were completely silent, which means they're doing either one of two things. Either they're sitting there in silence, regretting all that shit they were talking earlier, or they're infighting in voice chat against one another. Alright, in the third round, everybody was pretty serious. Nobody was really chatting anymore. Everybody was pretty locked in. Even the Ian guy started to shut up a little bit in the mic. So for the most part of this round, there's not really much talking that I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to let the gameplay kind of rock and just speak for itself. And I start chasing down this Psylocke because I want to get a stagger. And again, this is another one of those I'm talking about. You see here, I want her health to be as low as possible. Because the thing about Psylocke is, if you're waiting with like most characters where you're waiting for them to get their health low so that you can use your kick, Psylocke is going to be able to escape before them. You want to try to kill her as quickly as possible by dumping everything you have into her early, even if that means technically using the character wrong.
What the fuck is you doing?
Keep going!
Oh shit.
I am ready to put on a show!
Fuck!
You look tired. Knees down. Take a nap.
No, hell no!
I try to win this fight, but it's just no dice. We end up losing because they're getting killed by Luna, and there's no one else here. And then they get rocket ult. Yeah, it was just open. But it was a good push, and we absolutely rock them the next round.
My man's going straight weird shit.
Alright, so here's where I typically like to start. The reason I start here is because sometimes people like to come out of this little area right there. Sniper like Black Widow or Hawkeye will try to come out here, so we can try to get a pick on them.
Bless me, so long. Almost got out. So long.
Alright, now by this point, I had already had the mental projection in my head of how the rest of the game was going to go, because we had killed their Emma, which was basically their only real tank, so I knew they weren't going to be able to take any space with the Thor, and I knew this choke was going to be hard for them, not only because my Hawkeye was actually popping off this round like crazy, but my tanks also had finally found their groove, but mainly because they were so busy trying to focus me, they were never going to get pressure on the front line because they're so busy worrying about me in their back line that they can never actually put any real pressure on the front line. But it's a double-edged sword for them because if they don't actually try to protect their back line, then you'll see what happened earlier where the supports have to focus me and put all their attention on me, and then someone in the front ends up dying and they can't put any pressure on the front line to begin with. And that, my friends, is what we call the art of the mosquito fist. Yeah, anyway, we start rolling them, and this is where those two racist dorks basically completely switch up and realize that the game was lost and they weren't winning. So they just started to try to joke around in the game chat, but obviously I'm not going for any of that. They're obviously being sarcastic, but like they're kind of being serious in the same regard. But there's still a whole lot of game left, and I've seen worse things happen, so I wasn't gonna say anything just yet. I'm just gonna lock in and focus, and then I'll start talking shit at the end of the round. This is another one of those solo ult moments where I was like, what the hell are they doing? Now, listen, he's a Thor one trick, so he could just be stupid, but look at this scenario. You can see him turn around strictly for me. There is nobody around but me. He's just strictly trying to kill me. Like, this is what I mean when people get so focused on trying to kill me that they end up throwing for their team in the long run.
I am ready to put on a show.
Beat your ass. Man, let me go, man. Man, let me go.
Alright, so we win the game, which means that we can finally put down the belt that we were absolutely obliterating their ass cheeks with. But of course, before the game ends, I gotta get a few words in to the two lovers on the other team.
Maximum pulse.
Hey, look where you are. You made it to the end of the video. And you still haven't liked it? Why? You are literally at the end of the video. That means you liked it. Don't make me come over there and... I'll see y'all later, man.